Hello and welcome to Who Knew, a Doctor Who podcast. I am your host, as always, Josh Carr, and
Woo!
You can hear him already.
The myth, the legend.
I've got a man, a myth, and a legend with me today. It's the charisma cannon himself. It is the host of the community show. It is the one and only Jack Reeves.
Oh, the charisma cannon. That's a new one. Oh, I'm keeping that. Oh,
Yeah,
I'll get that on a t-shirt.
That just came out my head, and it just felt right, Just felt right. The charisma cannon, because you are, you are just 1,000% charisma. If you don't mind me saying, obviously, before we get into the podcast, like you just have this insane aura about you, which I can only applaud you on. I wish I had the energy.
Well, thank you very much.
To have that much charisma. I'm sorry, folks, because today I am your host, and you stuck with me. So I'm going to be asking the questions today. But we're here to talk about Doctor Who, of course. That silly old show. And
I've picked a good week to come on, considering what's only gone and happened the last couple of days.
Yeah, well, the last episode I recorded came out today as we're recording this, so about a week ago. And as you're listening, well, you might be listening in about 3 years, and this is all irrelevant. But it got dated so quickly because we're like, when's Series 13 coming out? What's it going to be about? No. Who's the next showrunner going to be? And yeah, it all got old pretty quick. But we get some fresh chat today, and no doubt in a week's time, this will all be out of date, and I realise that everything I do is pointless.
Yeah, Doctor Who's actually gotten cancelled. I don't know if you heard the news, but yeah.
Shit.
So, yeah, we all knew it was coming.
Oh no, I'm out of a job now. This isn't my job. Imagine if this was my job.
Oh,
Jesus.
The life. That's the dream.
Yeah, that would be the dream. So speaking of the dream that is Doctor Who, I don't know what this segue is. Doctor Who, where did Doctor Who start for you? How did you become a Doctor Who fan?
Oh, well, the year was 1998, and my mother and father loved each other very much. So I think my journey probably started around 2005. It's either with, obviously, Eccleston's run, which is near and dear to all of our hearts, or randomly watching Hand of Fear on like a rerun somewhere. Like, I remember seeing it on TV and thinking, what is this? I need more of this.
Nice. I mean, what a year to pick to want more of Doctor Who. 2005.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're a 2005 baby like me. We've had a few 2005 babies on, and I mean,
we're a fun breed.
I think we can all just we are a good breed. So do you? Because I feel like I have to ask everybody this now. It's sort of become a thing on the podcast. The Eccleston trailer, the big explosions down a corridor thing. Trip of a lifetime. Did you see that? Do you remember that at all? Because everybody always talks about it.
I must have done, because when I saw it on YouTube many a year later, I was like, oh, I feel like I remember this. Like, I feel the presence of the trailer, but not remembering watching the trailer itself. It's a weird oddity, strangely.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. It is. So 2005. So Hand of Fear is definitely an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, obviously 2005, great time to be a Doctor Who fan, wasn't it?
Oh, it was terrific.
It was great. It was great. Were you hooked from then, or was it a slow build? Did you creep in, or was it
a slow build? Because through Eccleston's run, it was building up and up and up. And clearly, when I watched Eccleston stuff back, over the years, I realized on my first watch through, I didn't know what was going on. Like, I mean, I was pretty dumb. I mean, done now, but dumb back then too. And I clearly was just enjoying the ride, as it were. I didn't know what was going on plot-wise. I didn't know any of the characters' names, bar the Doctor and Rose. I just went back and thinking, oh, there's actually plot. I was just having fun.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have any recollection of really knowing what was going on either. I mean, I must have done. I mean, I was 7 or 8. I must have got it a bit.
Oh no, I remember
thick. I remember the regeneration. The regeneration. That's when I first.
That hit that, yeah.
That's when I remember going, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, what is?
Oh, we can swear. Me. Excellent.
Oh, of course you can swear. Go for it.
I forget what the rule was. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Look, I work at a nursery. I'm not allowed to swear until I'm at home. So fuck yes, yeah. Oh, that's probably too far, but that's fine.
Nah, fuck it. Anyway,
now, fuck it.
Yeah. Apologies for the swearing, anybody. If anyone is offended by that, I'm
all right.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sort of. Anyway, yeah, Doctor Who. I completely forgotten where we were. Completely forgotten where we were. I have lost my train of thought entirely.
Oh no.
So I'm going to do something which I feel terrible about now, but you mentioned it in a very recent episode of the Community Show. Obviously, I was about to talk about the beginnings of YouTube.
What have you done, Mr. Carr?
I quote, you said that the first thing you do when you prepare for your interviews is that you go onto people's YouTube channels and you filter by oldest first.
So yeah, I do that, but that doesn't give you the right.
I do have the right. I definitely have the right.
So I listen to Tom Baker. He didn't have the right.
I do, and God, you know what? I had a thoroughly enjoyable time.
Oh, I'm glad you did. Oh, good.
No, genuinely, there is a lot, because some people make, so, you say look for the cringe. That's what you said. I'm quoting you again.
Yeah, I've really dug my own grave here, haven't I?
You have. But I didn't cringe at all. I thought it was absolutely ruddy adorable. I think the one that I watched was your news video, which was like 5 days before Christmas, which was so cute. It's so sweet.
Oh God, little Jack was on some weird energy. I mean, I'm on weird energy now. Really, I haven't changed at all. But it's my weird pronunciations that get me in that. Like, I watched it back, and it's like it's 5 days until Christmas. Like, you don't have to pronounce them. What are you doing, boy? Boy, someone
that's something I wanted to mention.
Shooken me about and said, "Stop it."
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing either. Like, I didn't know any of the latest news. I was just making it up.
Yeah, a Christmas Carol, which was what you were talking about. That's what I remember from watching that video. But anyway, that was 11 whole years ago that you started doing YouTube, which is a lengthy old run. I mean, it's commendable because it's pretty consistent on your channel. Like you didn't really let up much.
No, it was an addiction.
An addiction.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have friends at all ever. Well, okay, that's probably not fair, but there were very few people in my life, especially then, Probably only now has that changed, that there were people in my life that would encourage or join in. You know, it was only really sort of my mum, my dad, my grandma being like, hell yeah, keep going, it's funny. But everybody, like at school, whenever they'd find the account, oh, the ridicule, the bullying, it was dreadful.
Oh,
Be thankful it's still there, because I was this close to junking it, like the BBC in the 60s.
Oh God, no. Imagine someone finding, imagine, I mean, hopefully not Ian Levine, but imagine someone finding these lost tapes of
that would be
Baby
really
Jack.
I'm going to make that a skit in the future. Like, I'm going to get one of those film reels, right? Literally just transcribe Doctor Who News 1. Just look at this treasure. I'm waiting for the Blu-ray collection box set of that.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. I'll be on behind the sofa. I'd love that. I'd absolutely, I'd absolutely love that.
That would be so funny. Oh, I've got to do that at some point. So, that's done.
Yeah. I mean, your channel has definitely evolved over the years. You've changed a lot, a little bit. I mean, one thing that is clear throughout is, as I referred to you earlier, the charisma canon.
I'm just here to get my vanity stroked. This is excellent.
So I mean, because YouTube can be a tough old place. I tried it many a time, and it never really stuck for me. I couldn't make it work. And like 11 years to like not necessarily, because I know you've had like really like amazing projects in the past, but I think obviously now with the community show, things have gone pretty mad pretty quick. It seems to me.
That's definitely it might be fair to say.
Yeah. So I mean, what was your motivation to keep going through all those years? Because I mean, you, like I said, your channel wasn't doing bad. I'm not saying it was terrible. And
it kind of sounds like you're insinuating.
It's not what I'm insinuating. It's not what I'm insinuating. But like I said, it's a tough old game, and it's a lot of content that you made as well. You made so much stuff. Was it just the fun of making it, the pure joy of it, or were you just motivated by the grind? What was it, do you think?
You know me jumping on that grind, but no, I think it was just sort of the fun of it. I was never really enthused by school or college or work now. It's always been something more interesting to me. And it's not even a case of being in a community. I mean, now I kind of am, but community show before that, like the last 11 years, as you so kindly put it, it was just purely for fun. I was never in any groups. I didn't really watch a lot of YouTubers at the time, oddly. It was just it was just the fun of it, being sort of pretending to be in those worlds, be those characters, even though it was very squeaky voice. Hello, I'm Matt Smith. And I think you've sort of hit the nail on the head, that it was just for the fun, and it still is now. I don't. The fun hasn't gone anywhere.
I was about to say you still get that, and you can still feel the absolute joy that you have making this stuff. I imagine it's not easy.
I'm having fun.
Because I mean, the community show in particular, which we'll talk a lot more about, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
But the community show in particular, like the amount of work you must put into those is insane. Because I moan consistently about the amount of editing that I have to do, which must be an absolute pittance compared to what you have to do. I just
I just smash one out. Couple of hours, boom, bosh.
Knock out a quick masterpiece.
I could do it daily, mate. I could do it daily. You don't even know. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I hate editing. I'm sure you're in the same boat. Yeah, editing is the worst part of content creation. If I could just shell that off to someone, I would. But I mean, we in the timeline, right? You got your intro that's already pre-made. I can just chuck that in. Then I'm just nattering away for the intro. easy. Just cut when I'm saying and I'm allergic. I need to stop saying And then, all the fan film and the cosplay sections, fairly simple to edit. You just kind of put the little clip there. It's pretty easy. It's the skits that takes the longest, because because my brain can't help get really oddly specific. Like with the Waters of Mars, What If, that I did an episode or two ago. That one, I wanted to be like shot for shot because I couldn't help myself. All for one gag at the end for the Sarah Jane thing. All that, shot for shot, doing Time Lord Victorious for one really bad joke that I was too proud of.
It's really good. And it is genuinely, because I only watched it like a few days before you put it. I'd only watched Waters of Mars like a few days before you put it up. It is literally shot for shot, and it is perfectly executed. But I just think that makes the joke.
Obviously, the acting.
You are so right.
Did you see me as Adelaide?
Better than Lindsay Duncan, in my opinion.
Lindsay Duncan, calling you out. I'm coming for all of your future roles.
I shit Lindsay Duncan. Not a quote I was expecting to have in this podcast.
That's what happens when you bring the charisma king. It's the chaos.
Yes, the canon himself. Kaboom, bitch. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about the community show now, because I mean, I love it. Everyone loves it. It's so good. It is really, really good, and it feels like it's been around forever. Like it feels like
it's an odd thing.
I don't remember a time before the community show. But then you look and you've only
there wasn't
doing
actually the community show birthed the universe. Did you know that?
Shit, no, never realised that.
Yeah, there wasn't actually any history before the community show. It's a fact. It's a no fact. Look it up.
Now. Oh yeah, yeah. I'll Google it. But yeah, I mean, you've only been doing it. I mean, it's October now. What's that? Was it June, the first episode?
Only mad. June. Only a few months.
4 months.
Yeah. Imagine being the bastard making it. It's weird. It's weird how all of these subscribers and commenters have birthed out of the Twitterverse. It's weird. Even just the announcement video did so well out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to make this now. Whoops.
It's so cool, mate. Honestly, and it's such a lovely idea as well. And it was really cool to see, because in a weird way, obviously, I don't really have a concept of how known Who Knew is. I sort of just chuck these out there and see what happens.
Who knew about it before the show? And before I made the show, I didn't watch a lot. I knew the names, I knew the Josh Schneers and the Ace Creepers and whatnot, but I didn't really consume a lot of it. So put it this way, I knew about it, and so that's from like a general audience of Who perspective at that time.
That's good. That's good. But it's sort of like I'm still growing slowly, but it sort of did just go a bit mad for me as well after a couple of months. Like, I don't think to the levels that you've had, because again,
you've got Sophie Aldred on. You've got Katie Manning. You can't talk about growth.
How I'm just lucky. That's just pure luck.
Me too. How do you think I'm getting through it? We're just two lucky buggers.
Two lucky boys. Two lucky boys. But it was nice to see that, this can happen to people, and people just make cool stuff and people love it in the Doctor Who community. And obviously the Doctor Who. So it's interesting that you weren't that ingrained within like Doctor Who fan creations and Who
people are surprised. Like I wasn't. Before the community show, the only fan project I was properly a part of was Venus Flint, and that came out of nowhere. Like, I was just sort of hitting the DMs by Luke Lane, who does a lot of Dalek voices. You probably have seen his name about. He's absolutely lovely person, a good friend of mine now. And other than Venus Flint, really nothing. I was just sort of in my own Doctor Who road phase, should we call it?
Yeah.
Where I was that was my thing. That's what I was known for, Doctor Who road, and I'm still doing that slowly. But I really didn't watch a lot. I watched Doctor Who Poop, the best. I love Doctor Who Poop. I watched. Wow, actually, that might have just been it. I'm outing myself here so bad. This is going to be so bad. People are going to be like, "Wait, you didn't watch me before?" And I'm like, "Sorry."
Yeah, no, but so where did the idea? Because you'd think that you were like with Who Knew, because sort of I feel like our shows have similar goals, which is, promoting cool people in the Doctor Who community doing amazing things.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Which is nice. But mine was birthed out of seeing all of this cool stuff. So where did the idea actually come from then, if you weren't watching it all the time?
I think it was a mix of two things. The first was seeing, it was around the time of the Noel Clarke, John Barrowman situation. And it was that, and also a few online creators were getting outed, shall we say, for various things. I shan't name names, but I'm sure a lot of names might very well come to mind.
Yeah.
And so that was sort of in my head. And then it was also thinking back to the fan show by Crystal D and thinking, God, that had so much wasted potential. Like I remember watching bits and pieces when that was out. I did not like it. I thought it was childish, and it had a real opportunity to show behind the scenes that never came to be and promote good community stuff. So I had that in my mind. I had the two things, and I was doing a nice walk. I like a walk, but nearby flat, there's a nice sort of fieldy bit where I can go and hide and talk to myself without looking insane. Well, I still look insane, but no one's around to notice. And I was thinking about new things to make. You as a creative, you look for the next project, and these things sort of merged into, okay, how do I promote some happiness in what seems to be a bit of a dire situation for the Doctor Who community at large? And I thought, everyone likes a bit of promotion. Everybody likes hearing their names said on a show, no matter the size. And I thought it'd be a clever idea. Turns out, pretty decent idea as ideas go.
It's a really good idea. Really, really good idea. You are right. Like it is such a little slice of joy, and in this community, that is such a wonderful show. And I mean, I've had it. You've mentioned Who Knew on the show before. I think it was in the very
first
pilot episode. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was in the pilot.
You were. You made the cut.
I made the cut. But when I watched it, I was like, when you approached me about it, I was like, this really, really, really nice, and such lovely words were said, and the fact that you're doing that to so many people across the community, and
that could be taken out of context.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
The fact that you're doing that to so many people. Just.
But yeah, no, it's great. I mean, do you have a favorite? Because obviously you've been ramping up. Your skits are incredibly elaborate and wonderful. God, they make me absolutely crease with laughter. I was laughing.
Well, I'm happy to hear.
There was one that got me. Your Chibnall one that you just released with the. If people are avoiding spoilers, I'm not going to mention it. But it's about a particular leak on a particular box.
Look, I don't like the leaks much, but I couldn't help it. It was so wonderfully stupid. I won't, again, spoilers, so I won't go into it. But that picture is the stupidest. Like, just put your hand a little to the left and you're safe.
Well,
I had to make fun of it.
Just don't write.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have a code or something. This is Chris Chibnall, the man who is primarily within the Doctor Who community, especially at the minute with, the endless sort of discourse about Doctor Who marketing, which only Doctor Who fans could have. Let's be honest. No other program on Earth
we're a funny
argues
old
about
bunch.
its marketing. But it's just, he's known as Mr. No Spoilers. Like, he is, and it's just written on the side of the box.
Comedy gold. I didn't really have to do anything for that skit.
No,
that skit writes
itself.
Yeah, it did, because I made that skit a couple of days before the episode went out because I had no skits.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, your skits are hilarious. Do you have a personal favourite of all of your skits?
That's a very good question.
I mean, obviously you've got, because Doctor Who Road is there's a lot of Doctor Who Road.
There is a lot of Doctor Who
I'm dipping in, and I think I'm gonna have to go right to the very beginning and just watch it all and binge it all.
Be careful. Be careful what you wish for there, Mr. Carr, because that is a dangerous place.
No, definitely. Are the early ones in black and white, or are they telescope reconstructions?
Yeah, 4:3. Yeah, some of them were lost, unfortunately, but there are telesnap recreations available. Yeah. I think they're working on an animated version of a few. But favorites. I mean, putting Doctor Who Road aside, because that's a whole other beast. I do have favorites of that. Community show specific skits. I'd say, well, like I said a minute ago, the most recent episode 9, as we record this, every single skit, including the trailer skits where the glitching happens, all done the day before. I didn't have a skit. I panicked. Or every single skit in that was made up on the spot. So, but
that's insane.
Yeah, to put my weird brain into perspective. What year was this? I'd say the character options one is fun because that's when I proper started asking people to help me out. That was great, getting a bunch of people to voice it. I think though my favorite, the Sarah Jane one comes close, is probably one of the first ones I made for the Doctor Who Adventure Games skit, because I'm proud of how much I nailed how wonderfully shit that game was. Like, even funnily enough, the game developer, or one of the game developers, replied on Twitter to that saying that I pretty much smashed it, and that made me so happy once I figured out who he was, because I had no idea who he was.
Oh God.
I was like, oh, that's nice things to say. Then I clicked on his bio and I was like, oh, you made the game. I'm making fun of. I'm sorry.
That happens sometimes because there's so many people involved in Doctor Who in so many different ways. Sometimes someone tweets me and it gets a shitload of likes. And I was like, the other day, I don't want to name drop here because this literally blew my mind. But I glanced at my phone and someone had shared the announcement of Jonathan Carley, had like quote tweeted it, and was like really nice, saying can't wait to hear it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I checked my phone again and I was like, oh my God, it's Louise Jameson. And I just my mind just blew. And
cool.
It's the fact that I just glanced at my phone and was just like, what a lovely message from a fan.
Oh, that's brilliant though. And, that's excellent.
It was beautiful though. It was so fun.
Congrats, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And she's in the Corridor of Fame now, thanks to Jonathan. Jonathan put her in the corridor. Yeah, it has worked a treat. And I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about the community show later on, because obviously there's been a big announcement recently that you've made.
Yes, there
we'll get to talk about, which is exciting. But in the meantime, we're going to take a very, very short break, and when we come back, we've got our first feature, our first feature for Jack
Oh,
is
yes.
the DVD collection. So we'll see you in a minute. Welcome back to Who Knew? A Doctor Who.
That was nice and wholesome.
Oh, thank
Welcome
you.
back, my man. Welcome back to the Chill Zone.
Welcome back.
Hope you enjoyed that smooth jazz.
Yeah, you're listening to Who Knew? A Doctor
yeah.
Who podcast with Carr and Jack Reeves.
Oh yeah.
I went a little bit India Fisher in MasterChef then.
It was. I liked it though. That was nice.
yeah. I'm here with Jack Reeves being the red wine Jew. Sorry about that. We're back anyway. And you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's right behind me there somewhere. One day I'll nail where I'm pointing. That's my DVD shelf. Let's go to the DVD shelf. It's the DVD collection.
By the power of Grayskull.
The Unicorn and the Wasp or Love and Monsters?
Which one do you think I prefer?
No, I mean, which one do you want to watch first?
You are pulling my leg.
Woo!
Woohoo.
Sorry, I was hype.
But be hyped. Be hyped.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah, let's do it! My neighbours, I'm so sorry.
Yes. So, Jackal Reeves.
Jackal Reeves, that's
I
my
assume that's
Halloween
your
name.
full name. Jack-o'-lantern.
Excellent.
What would you like to put in the DVD collection?
Well, I thought long and hard about this. It was a tricky choice because, I mean, deep down I knew it was going to be new series because I'm a new series baby. I love a lot of the classics, but I had to really think. And I'd say the one that sort of stuck around with me the most, probably the one I've watched the most, and I was surprised wasn't on there, was Heaven Sent. That's your boys over here. It's a cracker, isn't it? Oh, it's a cracker of an ep.
That's good.
It's a good one. And look, here's the thing. For the obvious reasons, Capaldi's performance, the story as a whole, Rachel Taladay's amazing directions, Moffat's script. But I'd say it's one of my favorites because at that point, and I know I'm not alone here, I was kind of on the way out as a Moffat fan at that point. You know, you're hyped about it. Smith era, I love it. Well, especially early Smith. Capaldi's in. Oh, you've sold me. But Capaldi's series is both 8 and 9 kind of just weren't for me. I wasn't really enjoying it, bar the performances. But then Heaven Sent comes along, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love this. I was just so excited to be watching, and it's such a grim story too. You wouldn't expect it to be like, yeah, but when it gets to that montage ending, I'm in tatters. I love it. I love it to pieces,
mate. I mean, I'm gonna say it here now. It's 10 out of 10. It's
10 out of 10.
It's a perfect episode. I can't find fault with it.
Yeah, what would change? Change one thing? You don't.
Not even just as an episode of Doctor Who, just as an episode of television. I would put it up there. Like when people say to me, like the greatest episodes of TV, obviously there's a couple of Doctor Who episodes that come to mind just because it's me. But I genuinely think Heaven Sent is up there with like your like your Ozymandias in Breaking Bad and those kinds of episodes
for sure
of TV. I mean, it's just genius. I mean, it's such a simple concept. You look at Peter Capaldi and you go, you're probably one of the greatest actors this show has ever seen.
No
Let's
doubt.
just give you a 45-minute.
Just go wild, Capaldi. And he didn't
Just
even
have
have a
this one,
script. He
mate.
just went around a castle and went, "Oh, there's a monster chasing me," and they just kind of had to edit around it. He was just eating his soup. That was just a part of it. He was just having fun.
You know, if you told me there was no script, I would 100% believe it. Because
it's odd, isn't it?
It's
an odd thing. But yeah, it's just you bang on there. It's perfect. You wouldn't change anything. It looks gorgeous. It sounds amazing. Murray Gold is smashing out as he often does. Moffat's writing, it's not too overbearing, it's not too like on the nose, it's not too self-congratulatory as it had gotten to be at that point. It's just full on exploring a concept which you could only really do this way in this show. That makes it a perfect Doctor Who episode. I love it.
Yes. Well, I love this because as well, I love the fact that, and I think I briefly touched on this kind of thing in a couple of other episodes. When I was watching Classic Who, I went from beginning to end for the first time, and I just loved like hitting the classics, like when you got to a Genesis or a Caves of Androzani or something like that. And I just love this idea that even in the eras of the show where there's a few duds for me, like series 9 is not up there for me as one of my favorite series, but even in the darkest of times, you get a production team and a cast that just out of nowhere fire on all cylinders and just go mental.
That really made me giggle. In the dark times, heaven sent shall rise. And I mean, Christ, I don't know if it was on purpose, but that name as well, it really just sums it up, doesn't it? It's like, oh, we're going to slog through a series and then we reach the heavens, and then Hellbent goes straight the fuck back down.
Well, I'm gonna have to bring it up because they go hand in hand. Also there is a debate to be had here.
Is there now? Okay, go on.
Is it,
bitch?
It should should I allow this? Do I allow Heaven Sent into the collection without Hellbent? Is it a two-parter?
Okay. Look, technically it's a three-parter. Let's not forget, Face the Raven is also a part of it. So technically it's a trilogy. And much like Star Wars, I think you can segment the trilogy into individual episodes. And Hellbent can go suck a dick, and Face the Raven is okay. But really, come on, we know which one's Empire here. It's the middle boy.
Hang on. But would you do the same for Utopia, Sound of Drums, and Last of the Time Lords?
Well, that is a tricky one because obviously Utopia is so easy to segment. Yeah, okay, you got me there.
But
look, Heaven Sent and Hellbent are very different beasts, though.
Because I agree that in the same vein, I think Sound of the Drums is the empire of that trilogy. It's that middle section where it hits the peak. You might not agree, but in my opinion, it is.
I see that. It's definitely not Last of the Time Lords.
but I couldn't take it separately because they go hand in hand. So
come on. Do me a solid here, Mr. Carr.
Do I allow it? Fuck it, yeah, I don't care. You can have it. Yeah. Heaven Sent in. And
right, Hellbent me next week.
This is the wonderful thing. Hellbent might get in. I mean,
you never know. I mean, it does have its fans.
I mean, the Caretaker's in here. The Caretaker.
Yeah, that was an odd one. I mean, Thin Ice for sure. I love Thin Ice. That was going to be my number 2. But really, the Caretaker? I mean, I don't even have feelings on it. It's just an episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
To me, at least. I mean, obviously, like what you want. I don't care. I'm just saying these things for fun. But Caretaker, interesting. I mean, at least Delta and the Bannerman's not in there. Then I'd have to kick up a fuss.
Oh no, I want that in.
No,
I want it in.
Green Baby needs out.
Green Baby needs in.
Green Baby needs. I was going to say something really bad.
Please don't say anything
let's
bad
move
about
on
Green
before
Babies on the podcast. But I mean, what a solid pick. That is a pick and a half, Mr. Reeves. I mean,
that's what I'm coming
like,
for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, contender for my favorite episode in the corridor.
And it took this long until, what is it, episode 24?
Episode 24, yeah. But we've got hundreds of episodes. That's the thing. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, it's good to have more Capaldi in here as well.
Oh yeah,
Good to have
Capaldi
good to have more
deserved much
Capaldi.
better than he got. Please, Big Finish, book the man.
Yes,
Please.
book
He
him in.
deserves it.
I don't think he needs it though.
I get,
Yeah,
but
that
like
boy's in Hollywood.
It's for me.
It's for you. It's a personal thing.
Jack needs his Capaldi fix, or at least hire me. I'll do it.
And obviously, you were saying, we got this far without Heaven Sent. Oh, my dear doctors that have been left behind. We are 24 episodes in, and dear Colin and dear Jodie.
Oh, bless their hearts.
The
problem is, I want to pick, an odd pick. I'd love to pick a 13 episode, but I don't feel very strongly about a lot of them. I mean, the only one I like...
I think that's natural.
The only one I really like is the Nikola Tesla one. That one is awesome. That one's just fun.
It's fun, isn't it? It is fun. I wouldn't... I think... I don't know. It's just a case...
It's not even a hatred. It's just a kind of, they exist.
I think if we were in the middle of the era, I don't think you get a lot of Capaldi stories. I think the distance that's from true, them actually. To get to that elite status. I'm sure we'll get one soon.
Fingers crossed.
Colin, come on, Colin.
Oh, yeah, come on. Let's get some Time Lash. Let's get some Time Lash up in here.
Oh,
I haven't watched it, but I've heard awful things.
Have you not?
No.
Have you not? This is my chance. My listeners are gonna love this. This is my chance to indoctrinate you into the Time fan club that I'm a sole member of.
No.
Listen.
No,
come on,
help.
join. Viva la Time-ash. Viva la Revolution.
You'd be surprised how little Who I've actually watched.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've got a decent collection behind me. Obviously, audio listeners, I apologize, but I've got a decent collection there. But really, I've got 2 Sixth Doctor ones, and I haven't watched either. So I know I'm a bad fan, but look, okay, I make it up by having all the
terrible fan.
like me.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
I have my favorites. See, that's why that's why I keep my opinions often to myself, because I know people are going to get pissy in the comments, and I'm not about that.
They can fuck off.
That's why I'm glad no one's asked me to rank doctors, because that would get me in trouble.
Rank the doctors.
Fuck. Look, okay. The only reason it gets me in trouble is because, well, A, it changes every day, but B, I put certain doctors very far down or very high. There's no middle ground. I have no middle ground of doctors. It's peculiar. It's like they're segmented into not my thing and I'm all about it. That's my 2 sections.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I won't let you go into it now.
Thank you. I'm sure people will ask me though. Now I've put this out there because I'm an idiot and decided to put these things online.
Yeah, I'm not about to get you cancelled on
Thanks, mate.
On Who Knew.
Yeah, William Hartnell is shit. No, I'm kidding. He shouldn't have even been in it. It should have been a young hot guy. Come on, guys, what are you
doing? Well, that was a great pick. I think it's safe to say I don't think anyone is going to. I don't think anyone is going to begrudge you of that pick. So
I'd be surprised.
Congrats.
I would love to have that argument. No, I wouldn't.
If
I couldn't be asked.
To have that argument,
I've got a life to live. I don't need to be arguing in the comments about stuff.
We don't need that. But Heaven Sent is in. Heaven Sent is in, and just like Heaven Sent, something else has been Heaven Sent to us. I can see it now. They're coming down. They're coming down, and it's David Tennant with a scruffy beard and a brown suit as usual. and he's saying, he's delivering new messages.
Oh, what's he saying?
He's saying, bloody Twitter.
For God's sake! Bloody Twitter!
So,
I
welcome.
genuinely didn't know where you were going with that, but of course that's where you were going with that.
No, of course I was.
Bloody Twitter!
Bloody Twitter. Welcome to the bloody Twitter section, Jack.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
One thing you must know beforehand, strange people listen to this podcast, and therefore strange people ask questions.
Strange people are on this podcast currently. I'm expecting it in full.
Question number 1 comes from Alex Lime at the Rebel of Time.
Oh, yes, I know Alex Lime.
It's a very topical, very, very topical question. Thoughts on the Series 13 news?
Yes.
Which is exciting. Also, the flux. Let's discuss.
Okay.
As we're, I need to date this. As we're talking about this, all we know is release date, the little glitchy teaser, and the fact that it's called Flux, and the Sononauts and the Weeping Angels and something called the Ravagers are in it. So something might drop this weekend before this comes out.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Of course it will, just to spite me. What are your thoughts on it? Are you excited? How are you feeling?
I'm intrigued. I think they kind of buggered it in a sense by doing the showrunner news first, because really, I mean, even if I was very excited for Series 13, which I'm in the middle. I'm far more focused on the Russell T Davies returning to care about something called Flux. I'm intrigued, and obviously I will watch it when it comes out. But I don't know anything. I only know that monsters are coming back. That's fun. I'll watch that. But it's not like I'm going nuts. There's nothing to get too hype about.
I mean, I think I might be more excited than you, just because
probably
I'm a thirsty boy for the Doctor Who. I'll take anything. I'll take anything I can get.
Now there's a quote. I mean, I won't lie. I've been very sort of not very enthused by the Whittaker and Chibnall era. Nothing against either of them necessarily. It's just not my thing. And obviously it has its fans, and that's excellent. But now I know what's coming next about the 60th and about the new showrunner. They've kind of left it in the dust in my brain. Like, if I didn't know that, I would have probably been like, oh, okay, Flux, that's the next step. But in my brain, it goes, oh, Whittaker's coming back, but then also Russell T. That's my thoughts. I wish I was more enthused.
Based on that, I imagine, because I feel like we should talk about this as well, because this has happened. We've not talked about it on the podcast yet. Russell coming back he's
coming back, the boy.
Crazy.
The boy.
It's mental. I want to talk less about the news, more about that day. How were you on that day? Because the day it dropped, I was a fucking mess.
I thought it was a prank. So I did this in the Q&A not too long ago, because typically that was the question that arose. So I was just coming home. I checked my phone and I saw in new showrunner news, and I see it's a picture of Russell T, and I'm like, oh, ha. Like, I think it's one of those fake Doctor Who Twitter accounts that has the sort of emoji instead of the tick. So it's like, oh, yeah. But then I started seeing people reacting to it, and I was like, oh, wow, this is tricking a lot of people, isn't it? And then I go back and see it's the official Twitter and that it's real. And I just had to put my phone down, and I was very excited. So I turned to Gemma, my lovely better half Gemma, and I go, dude, Russell T Davies is coming back. She looks me in the face and goes, who? And we're having a divorce. It's being finalized. It's disgraceful news. But no, Russell T, man, it's so good.
It was about 2 minutes before the end of my lunch break, and I had to go and work for 2 hours after that.
That's rude.
And I was like, I was just at my desk, and so someone came over and was like, "Josh, are you okay? You're shaking." And I was like, "I'm fine." And I was like, "I'm fine. I'm just excited." Yeah, I was so hyped, man. It's going to be amazing. I mean, oh, well, we don't know that it's going to be amazing, but
speaking of actually the announcement, did you watch the He Who Moans Stu Bagful video on his return?
I have not. No.
I don't know if you watch. Yeah, it's a reviewer that I quite enjoy. He made this whole video about sort of the return news and sort of all of it as a whole, and he made a very good point. He reckons that most people are excited, and I would admit to be in his camp at first, is they're like, oh, he's going to make it 2008 again. You know, he's going to bring back all these things, but really, like, is he? I mean, come on, this is Russell T, and he's been away a while, and he's done some pretty great things. He's probably got some weird shit in mind if he's coming back.
Exactly
Surely it's going to be something weird.
That was exactly my first thought. I think I tweeted about it on that night, actually, was if you're expecting him to come back, like I don't think we'll get, I think people were saying, is this just going to be a rehash of the Russ T Davies era? I think if there's one person on planet Earth who is the least likely to rehash the Russ T Davies era, it's Russell T Davies. Because
I'd say that, because ever since that era, he's always said, like, oh, I should have done this, should have done that.
Yeah, and he's had some mad ideas that he's spoken about as well. And as well, like you look at the Chibnall era, I'm not saying it's a rehash, but there's a lot of Russell inspired ideas in there,
especially in the Spyfall. There was a lot of, like, that was not a new thing. I liked it, but probably not for the reasons I should have.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that have been brought back from the Russell era, like the Jadoon and like the whole Jack thing.
Other things.
Yeah, I mean, it's so exciting, because I genuinely think I don't think anyone on planet Earth would make anything more different from what has come before than Russell T Davies in 2021, and he's just gonna,
no doubt,
fuck the Tories as well, which is great.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Oh, I didn't think about the political ramifications.
He's going to shred what a post-Brexit, post-COVID,
bring back the Slovene.
Slovene
Trump.
My God.
Slovene Trump.
Yeah, give me a Slovene Trump episode, and give me a
Slovene,
Peladon Brexit story. Oh,
yeah. Yes, let's do it. Come on, please. And then bring back the Sea Devils.
Do it.
That's just a personal favorite.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd love that.
I'd love to come back. I'm going to be livid.
Well, that was a whole lot of us not really talking about Series 13, but thank you for your question, Alex.
But that's exactly my point, though, to be fair. Like, true. Series 13 got fucking buried thanks to the Russell T Davies news. BBC, they don't. I swear the BBC just don't like the Whittaker era. Like, just in general, they're just like, oh, whoops, that was a mistake. Next. It's like, no, it's got his fans. Give it a chance. Christ.
Where do you stand on the marketing? Because I'm intrigued about the fact that, like I said, you never get anyone, like any other fan base, talk about marketing in the way that Doctor Who fans do. Like,
yeah, it's a peculiar play.
I have never discussed marketing outside of the Doctor Who realm. Where do you stand on it? I mean, what are your thoughts on how this era has been marketed? Because I must say, out of the past week or so, the one thing that I'm loving is those interactive billboards with the phone number on it, where you can call Jodie.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Fucking cool.
I didn't really call the number, though. I will admit, I'm not one that called it. Although,
you should ring
here's
it.
the thing, I was confused.
It gave me warm fuzzies.
I'm sure it did, but it's. I'm confused as a whole. I'm no expert in marketing, as neither is anyone that's tweeting about this, if we're being perfectly honest. Because, but I mean, the whole Twitter going down thing, that was odd. I mean, sure, but you've just nuked all your followers. And oh wait, no, that came back. But and then just I liked all the billboards and the glitches. But if you're not a Doctor Who fan, you're probably going to be confused and think it's a genuine glitch. And then like the billboards are very clever, but then it all sort of clicked with the phone number thing, because I saw a bunch of people tweeting about it and recording their experiences, and I was like, okay, that's kind of odd. But then I saw this video, God bless her. I think it's Little Girl Who on Twitter doing it herself. Yeah. And you can see in her heart of hearts, she really believes the Doctor is on the other end of that phone. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. That's in fucking genius. Yes. So that, I mean, certain parts are confusing, but that bit they fucking smashed.
Yes. And of course, just to clarify for any kids listening at home, it is the Doctor on the other end of the phone. Just like it is.
If any kids are listening Santa this far, there's more worries than breaking the brain.
Yeah, I know. You dropped a seed.
Go to bed.
So, please go to bed. So yeah, Alex, thank you for your question, Alex. Next question is from Joshua Carpenter, one of the wonderful writers in my upcoming audio series.
He's a writer. I have heard the name.
He is. Check out my Twitter if you want to get involved or if you want to keep up to date with the audio series, because exciting things coming. I'll be making announcements.
Oh yes.
On an undetermined date in the future. At Joshua CC252 on Twitter as well. Go follow him. He's actually asked 3 questions, but we'll quick fire them.
Offensive.
We're going to quick fire all 3.
Okay, I'm on.
First one. What is your most coveted Who memorabilia?
It's right next to me, but I can move this. It is this. It is a signed picture from of Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred, and I love it. It's my favorite thing. Yes, that's I've got a good few around the flat, but that one, it's just a nice memory. You know, it's a nice memory tucked in.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Although second place is this Drashig puppet from Character Options. This is my pride and joy. This is my son. I love him.
What's he called?
I haven't named him. I probably have in the past, but I've never actually. I should put that up to like a poll. Name my Drashig.
Yes. Hashtag name Jack's Drashig.
Let's do it. Best name gets a little name tag.
Lovely, jubbly. Next question. After Galaxy 4, which story do you want to be animated next?
Heaven Sent. Honestly, though, I think it'd be quite funny to see a New Who episode reimagined at maybe just a really bad one to make it more interesting. But I don't know, make Fear Her in an animated form and see how weird it gets.
Oh yeah, make it really crazy.
But I mainly say that because I don't know what episodes are still not animated and missing.
That's all right. That's fine.
I'm not a real fan.
It's a minefield, and it does get confusing. Like, it was only the other day that I found out that there's still an existing episode of Evil of the Daleks. No one ever mentioned it. I was like, yeah.
Oh, I've got that.
I was like, I thought it was gone. Yeah, I started watching that. It's fun. It's fun.
It's all right.
Yeah,
that would get me killed.
It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. They just shit that out, you know.
It's Daleks, isn't it?
And Joshua's final question: what's been your favourite? We've already asked that. I'm a knob.
I can go in the bloopers. Exact question. That's odd.
That can go in the bloopers for the patrons. So
hey, what's
enjoy
up,
that,
Patreon?
Patrons. Yeah, please.
How many patrons have you got? By the way, I haven't looked.
I have one. I only launched.
Patreon, we all give it a whack.
I only launched it at 7 a.m. this morning as we're recording.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
So, yeah, at the minute I've only got one.
Maybe you'll have 2.
Maybe I might have got one while we've been recording, but I doubt it. But yeah, it'd be nice if I got more. And I mean, whoever's watching this,
subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah,
click
the
the link
patrons
below to subscribe to the official Who Knew podcast Patreon. I forgot the word.
Oh, beautiful.
So I was trying to do an ident for you.
Yes, please do. Love that.
I got you.
Next question from Bo.
Oh, I love Bo.
Yes, you love
Hi,
Bo.
Bo.
At Bo_the_original.
Legend.
Great question here. If you ever got to work for the BBC and Doctor Who, in brackets, I can see it happening in the future.
I tried. I applied. They said no.
Yeah, but you might get it again. You might get another shot.
It's a trainee position, and they wanted someone qualified.
That's silly.
Mate, whatever. Next.
Anyway, what would your dream job be next to playing the Doctor or a companion?
Oh,
and also next to that traineeship that you know.
I would be the worst Doctor, first of all. But
No, you wouldn't.
I would, because I'd just be doing it what everyone else has already done. There's nothing original here. I was raised to be David Tennant's clone. But, trust me, people would be pissed. Plus, another white man. No, anyway, I don't know what position I'd like. Now, there's another good quote.
Oh,
I
Lord.
think something on camera. I think for me personally, I mean, I'd love to do something behind the camera. That'd be very interesting if I got that chance. You know, something like a camera operator or director or what have you. But I think just an actor, even if it's just a one-off, like we've learned through Doctor Who that even if you're on for one episode, I'm looking at you, Pfizer Pompey, you can come back at some point as something bigger. So I would love to just guess.
You'll get. Yeah, and if you don't, you'll get dragged to conventions for the rest of your life. So
honestly, I'll take it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Like I saw that. I think it was at a Phantom Films event, maybe. The guy who's in the car at the beginning of Revolution of the Daleks who gets killed was a guest at a convention.
I love Phantom
Films.
So
unbelievably niche. It's so good. And that's exactly the kind of people. Just to be watching an episode of Doctor Who and just be like, met them. Dream.
Oh, I love that though. Have you been
so
to any
niche.
Phantom Films events?
I have not. I really want to
dude,
go.
if you ever go, I've been to a couple. It'd be quite funny to bump into each other.
Oh, that would be fun. That definitely would be fun. Yeah, I've not done a lot of conventions. I did.
I hear Comic-Con in London's pretty good.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that, my friend. Just you wait. Next question is from my personal hype man, the man who has the only person who's tweeted about Who Knew more than I have, which is so lovely. It's Cal at generic_tweeting.
What's up, Cal?
Hello, Cal. Another really, really good question, which links very well to the convention question. You've been given control of a Doctor Who event.
Have I?
You can do
Excellent.
You can do whatever you like, be it an interactive adventure, a stage play, an exhibition, or something out there or batshit, whatever. What would you do and what would it look like?
Now that is an interesting question, because when you said it, I was like, I just linked it to a convention, but no, you're right. That opens the door to a lot of things. I mean, I haven't been to Time Fracture yet because every time I've booked, the floods happen and that pisses me off. So I'm waiting. But I've heard great things about that. I think, no, I tell you what I've always wanted to do, and this is still something I intend to do God knows how long in the future. I want to do a stage play. I want to do that. I want to do what Colin Baker and John Pertwee did back in the day, or more specifically, what the Chuckle Brothers parodied on stage once, called Doctor Who and the Garlics.
And the
my
Garlics.
Childhood favorite.
I went.
You went. You went too. Yes. It's so good, wasn't it?
Yes, I met the Chuckle Brothers afterwards, and it was incredible.
Did you?
I did. I genuinely did. I'll have to try and find the picture.
Please.
I do have a picture with the Chuckle Brothers. I can't believe that we've managed to get
It's so
niche that we're talking about the Chuckle Brothers live stage play from circa 2006.
It must have been, yeah. It was the early days of the revival.
It was early revival days. Dr. Watt and the Garlics,
That was
I
it.
believe it was
But
called.
I knew I got the name wrong. But
Dr.
yeah, I have vivid memories of the Daleks with those garlic
with the
heads.
garlic bulbs.
It's so good.
Oh, I hope there's a recording of it somewhere. I tell you what,
please,
I might make.
If anything, find me the transcript. I'll remake it. I will figure it out because that would be incredibly fun. But I've been wanting to do something Doctor Who on stage, whether it be a stage play or not, for a long time. And dude, if I can find the backing and the people, I will do it. That is my Jack Reeves guarantee.
I might pitch this to Twitter. Possibly
I'll star in it.
If we find a transcript of Dr. Watt and the Garlics,
I'll be Barry.
If we did a read through as a stretch goal for my Patreon once we reach a certain amount,
that'd be awesome.
We get together, we get a load of other people, and we try and recreate Dr. Watt and the Garlics.
Okay. Let's do it at like a Phantom Films event too, just because they sometimes have stages in the event place. That would be so okay. Boom, that's my future.
Well, I've come up with an idea as well for this question. Sorry, Kel, I'm just hijacking your question for Jack.
No, please.
But how fun would it be to do live read-throughs of old episodes, but with the cast? So you buy a ticket and you get given. So say for example, you get given a role in The Curse of Fenric, and then you go to a table read and you read it with Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred.
I'd go nuts. That's a
great
idea.
That would be such a good idea.
I imagine they do something like that, like, I don't know, say the Galaxy 4 BFI thing. Like, I imagine, like, even just a scene. Like, I can imagine just, certain guests would be there, so you could do that prior. There's totally an audience for that too. That's fascinating. Yeah, let's get that going. Let's bring back
copyright.
Yeah,
yes, this is my idea.
Original, do not steal.
Yeah. And our final question, which is from Samuel Gingle, at Gingle Samuel.
Oh, yeah, okay. I know this guy.
Incredible artist. Again, I'd say every single time. Great artist. He asked, have you ever met your doppelganger?
I don't know. I haven't. Although, funnily enough, my sister once bumped into my granddad's doppelganger because, and she sent me a picture too. This is totally weird. This was a few years ago, and she thought she saw my granddad just out and about in this place he wouldn't be, and so she took a picture, confused, and then went over to him, when being like, "Granddad, what are you doing here?" He looked up in sheer confusion and spoke in a voice. That was not our granddad. I wish I was there because that sounded so awkward and cringeworthy. It would have been comedy genius. Yeah. But my doppelganger, no. I wish, because that would drive me insane.
What celebrities do you get that people say you look like?
Well, you see, that's a difficult question. No, I mean, over the years, I've noticed more and more people say I look like Tennant, especially at work, which is weird because they don't know my nerd stuff. Yeah. Which is always a pleasure because I'm not that handsome. The only other one I've ever gotten, not that I need another one, is Matthew Baton from Horrible Histories and BBC Ghosts.
I can see that. I can see
Thank
it.
you.
I can definitely see it.
It's just, but to be honest, it could be any brown-haired, white, 20 to 30 or 40 something bloke. I just look so generic as a human.
Look at me. Any man with a beard, glasses, who's slightly chubby, I'm them.
Yeah, you look exactly like Shakira.
Yeah. I like. The laziest one I get is just Jack Black. I mean, like, you look at me in Jack Black.
Jack Black?
We don't look alike. I'm just
no.
fat with a beard. Like that's literally the
You
only
look like
similarity.
I'll tell you who. Maybe have you ever gotten Eddie Burback? You look a bit like Eddie Burback.
Who's Eddie Burback?
Oh, look him up right now. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's the glasses as well that do it. Here we go. This would be good for the audio listeners. Frantic Googling. Eddie Burback. He's a YouTuber.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Oh shit, that's like a more handsome me.
Well, you're welcome then, Mr. Yes,
we do look
relatively.
Yeah.
See, I know how to do doppelgangers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I get Josh Gad a lot.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Oh,
all right.
Thanks.
No, just because Josh Gad is he's very James Corden to me, Mr. Gad.
Yeah, I get those vibes. I get that.
Yeah.
I definitely
anyway,
get
very
that.
handsome is what I'm saying.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you very much, everybody. That was bloody Twitter. Great questions as usual. And someone who asks a lot of great questions is my man Jack here.
What's up?
Because not only do you share wonderful things in the community, you also have a lot of big interviews on your channel as well, which is really cool. Like I know that a lot of them recently. You've had a few fan doctors on, which is really cool. You've had Dom on,
very fun.
Who's a dear friend of the show. How do you like that? How do you like the interviewing?
I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. Like on the pilot, I was like, oh, it'd be kind of fun to have a live person on. But obviously at that point, the community show was just a concept. And I got lucky because with Bo, who asked a question a minute ago. Bo, the lovely artist, she does a lot of my designs, or my two designs in the community show store with the Melon Dalek and the upcoming October one. And so I got lucky there. She's absolutely lovely, a good friend of mine now. But ever since then, I didn't expect to get the people on that I have. I've gotten very lucky with every single one. I mean, the only one that's not surprising is Joe, because obviously she was my friend before because of Venus Flint. But like the first sort of big one that was that made me go, oh, this could be huge, was of course DW 2012. I mean, I was lucky with Katie Haynes. I was lucky with Clayton, who's making the fan game. He's excellent. Yeah. And Spectral Horizons, the audio company, audio people. But as soon as I found out I could do the first in-person interview with such an established part of the community in their TARDIS, I knew I was doing something right. It was
a great interview as well. It's so fun.
Yeah. Do you want a fun little scoop into my interviews?
Give me scoops. I love the scoops.
I'd say for nearly every interview, I've figured out the questions the day before or on the way. That's because I can't help myself. When I'm at work, I can't think of anything else. I can't think of YouTube stuff when I'm at work because they're children and I have to focus on them. That's kind of part of it. So it doesn't give me a lot of time outside of work to really hone in on an idea. And, sometimes questions will pop in my head as soon as I know the guest. But like, for example, with that interview with Dom, Luke and Meg, I realized sort of on the way that I was like, oh, yeah, there is going to be 3 of them. I should ask more than like a couple questions. I should have some sort of specialized ones. So on the multiple trains over to them, I was on Google Doc on my phone going, okay, what's a good one for Meg? What's one that would really annoy all 3 of them? And yeah, so that's every single. If I ever get you on, know that I have done the questions like the night before in a frantic panic.
I don't want to spoil any illusions here. I was finishing my notes about 5 minutes before we started recording.
Look, there's only so much I can feign professionalism. I'm just one guy as a you. We only have so much time in the day to do this.
Yeah, I feel that. I absolutely. This is such relatable chat. This feels like therapy. I love it.
And how does that make you feel?
But yeah, the interviews are great. They're so fun.
Thank you.
Really fun. Especially that DW 2012 one is really good. And you're going to be doing a very special couple of interviews very soon. Let's talk about the fact that you are going to have the community show live at MCM Comic-Con. How cool is that?
Oh, dude, when I applied for it twice. Once when I started the show in like an idiot, and once more recently, sort of episode maybe 6. Yeah. And just I didn't expect much of it. And the week before October, they dropped me an email saying, "Oh, by the way, we have this time slot available. Would you be? I know this is short notice, but would you like to be in it?" At which point this was at work. I just got my phone out of my locker. I was about to go out, and I screamed so loud that people came to see if I was okay. And that, so I went nuts. And then I frantically had to message Dom, Rory, and Phil, who had said yes before. Because I'd had to say who would be on, and I said, by the way, this is actually real now. You good, yeah? And they said, I think one of the first questions I got was, "Did we get in for free?" Which, I mean, that's funny. That's really funny that's the first question. But I mean, yes, we get in for free.
That's really cool. That's really nice.
But no, it's such an honor. And let's be honest, that's luck. There is no way I got in based on my own merit.
That is absolutely not luck.
And I
not
got
true.
Lucky.
No. I refuse this. I am not allowing this on the podcast. I'll let you have heaven sent. I am killing this dead. This is not luck. This is pure. You are the charisma cannon, my friend.
Look,
that is why you've got this.
I will accept I am a
natural host. You just. That's why you've got this.
I hope so. Otherwise, it's all going to go to shit.
It's not going to go to shit. You fucking deserve this, man. Genuinely.
It's going to be fun. I've got a lot of things planned. So it's going to be good.
So give people the details, please. And if there's, because this is going out a few days before. Am I right in saying it's the 22nd of October, 2021 that you're doing this?
It is indeed, yes.
Correct. So this is going out on the 19th. So there's a few days left. This is your pitch to anyone who last minute wants to try and flood. So pitch away. Tell us about the show.
So you will need the Friday priority ticket, as it will be at 11 o'clock to 11:45 in the morning, and the general admission only lets you in about 10 o'clock, which is a bit annoying, but presumably that's why the original one dropped out, because they weren't too happy about that. But essentially, you'll be in the audience alongside my mum and my dad, who have surprised me with a ticket. So that'll be interesting. You can meet them. You can meet Mummy and Daddy Reeves. And so essentially, it'll start off, I'll bring on the guests, and we'll do essentially the community show live for a bit. We'll all have our personal picks and our personal favorites of who we want to talk about, and we'll do that for a bit. Then I'm going to torture them, because I have brought a hilariously fun quiz, as I've been known to do a couple of times, about them and about the show. And they'll all have whiteboards, and they'll write down their answers and flip them around. And then I'll say, "No, you're wrong, idiot."
That is so fun.
And yeah, it's going to be a good fun time. There's going to be a little Q&A in the audience as well for any fans that may be there. I'm hoping so, because that is my and here's the other thing, right? I found out what stage I'm going on. I didn't know at first, and it's called the creator stage. Now, most stages at Comic-Con are behind sort of big curtains. They've got this whole sort of separate segment. The creator stage is slap bang in the fucking middle. So anyone can just walk by and sit down or leave at their leisure. So I'm surrounded. There is no curtain. I am just open to the entire con with a microphone.
Really cool, though.
This is such a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. Well, language-wise, Rein it in,
Oh,
man.
I'm
Rein it
terrified.
in.
I'm going to drop a swear.
You
I
won't.
mean,
You won't drop.
maybe
a swear.
seeing children will put my nursery defense mode up, but we'll see about
that. I mean, it's so exciting, mate. This is the kind of opportunities that I love seeing people in the community get, and it's so cool that it's been given to someone who actively celebrates these opportunities being given to people in the community. It's a
it
lovely
does work, I guess.
paradox, but I love it. It's really great, and like I said, you really deserve it. So 22nd of October with Dominic G. Martin, Philip Hawkins, and Rassilon Productions.
Yes, they were very kind in saying
great
yes.
Guests as well. Really, really great guests.
Oh, I've lucked out. Yeah, they are amazing.
Yeah, really, really cool. It's so exciting, man. So exciting.
Thanks, man. It's good.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm nervous, but I'm also like, this is something I've wanted to do since I went to my first Comic-Con. You know, I see people on stage and I'm like, oh, I want to be that. And now I am. So achievement get. Now just to make it my job.
No, it's you, mate. It's you.
I'm not getting paid. I'm just getting a free ticket, which is honestly just as good. I'm going to be there the whole weekend, by the way. If you can't make it for the show,
really cool.
I'm going to be there the whole time. In fact, on the weekend specifically, my lovely better half Gemma will also be there. She's devastated she's missing the panel because work wouldn't give her time off. But I know, but luckily the whole thing will be recorded by the con, and they've said they'll give me the footage to make my own video with it. So fuck yeah.
That's great. Well, as soon as that is live, I'll post it all over the social medias. I'm sure you'll see it anyway. All of my listeners, you know, it'll be going all around. But as soon as there's a version of it live, I will share it around. And please make sure that you watch it, because even if you can't make it down, I reckon it's going to be a great little show to watch.
It's going to be an interesting time.
Even the recorded version is going to be. It's going to be boss, mate. It's going to be great.
Yeah, mate. If you see me at the con on any of the days, please come over. I've actually, Gemma gave me the idea to make these business cards with the community show logo on it. So I might give you that. Well, I'm going to give them to everyone anyway, you know, networking. But, you know, maybe you'll get a little bit of memorabilia along the way in the form of a little business card.
Lovely stuff. Now we're not really coming to the end of the show. We've still got a bit to get through. But there's one place that we always head before things wind down. Of course we do. I mean, I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking for the real. At the minute, this corridor is metaphorical, but I'm searching for it in my house. It's got to be here somewhere.
It'll be in there somewhere.
It's got to be. But yeah, we're going to go and take a little stroll, me and Jack, arm in arm, down, skipping down the corridor of fame.
Have you ever been limited by who you were before?
One day, I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back.
Our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting
Yeah? Sarah J?
Do I have the right?
Some people's small, beautiful events is what life is all about.
Compared to us, 10 million years of absolute power. That's what it takes to be really
Every great decision creates ripples. Like a huge boulder dropped in a lake.
But it was a childish dream that made you a doctor. You dreamt you could
No more.
I'm not just the time. I'm the last of the time.
It just disappears, doesn't it? Everything you are gone in a moment, like breath on a mirror.
I do what I do because it's right. Because it's decent. And above all, it's kind.
Love abides in the face of everything.
Oh God, you just gave me flashbacks to that bit with James Sutton in the Day of the Doctor skit, where we skip arm in arm the entire length of the field. And And then the camera ran out of space on the footage we took so long getting back. Sorry, continue.
No, that's funny because I watched that one earlier.
Brilliant.
So, Jack, the Corridor of Fame. Obviously, this is a corridor filled with many great names.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here in this. Amazing.
Yeah, there's some wonderful people in here, and there's a little empty picture frame over there where you can stick a nice little portrait and hang.
I've brought a
someone
portrait
up
from
in there.
home.
Beautiful. Did you hand paint it?
I did. I handcrafted it with Crayola crayons and my spit out of love and respect.
Lovely. So with that message, who would you like to put in the Corridor of Fame?
Now, this was a tricky one because unlike favorite episodes, which, you know, everybody thinks about, you never think about who would be put on this metaphorical, an excellent idea, by the way, Corridor of Fame. I think it's an excellent idea. You know, some people, especially connected with the show, should be put on a certain pedestal and be celebrated for certain things. And I was looking at your list, a fantastic list. Kudos to everyone who's put forward names. You know, I saw RTD, Terrence Dix, obviously. But one I'm surprised I didn't see on there was the wonderful producer, Julie Gardner. Now, as a self-proclaimed adorer of the RTD era and the whole reboot itself, obviously a lot of praise should and definitely does get thrown RTD's way, but one who is equally as important, I feel, is Julie Gardner.
Definitely. That is a top quality pick, and it's a good pick for the moment because she's back. She's back, man. She's back. She's Bad Wolf are obviously now going to be co-producing Doctor Who from 2023.
Yeah, very interesting.
Which is run by Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter, another very important name from the early days of the revival. So I mean, I get the vibe, obviously from our chats, that, you know, we're both Russell era boys.
Oh yes,
we are.
He
Russell
could do no
boys,
wrong except for all the wrong he did.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, it is always referred to as the RTD era. But like, yeah, Julie Gardner played a massive role, massive role.
And I didn't know anything about her. Hilariously until that that musical video dropped of the let's do it, that one. Like, I didn't know any. I was like, who's Catherine Tate supposed to be? And then I looked into it and I was like, oh shit, I've seen her in Confidential a whole bunch of times, and I was like, oh okay, I understand why she's in it now. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Julie Gardner, man, absolutely should. Julie Gardner. I've got this portrait here. Please frame it.
Of course I will. Yeah, I mean, what a legacy to have in terms of, and it's only going to grow from here on in, which is so cool. You know, with Russell and Julie and all of the people who were involved in that initial era of bringing it back. You know, Murray and Phil Collinson. You know, this group of people. Who
is Murray Gold in the Corridor of Fame yet? I forget if I saw his name.
No.
Oh Christ, that's a big one to me. Someone in the future, please.
Yeah.
that man needs to be in there. That is such an oversight.
We've got a few composers in there. Let me take a look. Yeah, who have we got? We've got Dealey Derbyshire's in, which is lovely.
Of
course. And Keith McCulloch as well.
Keith McCulloch. What? You'll have to refresh my memory.
Keith McCulloch. I think we're looking at around about. Oh my God, my mind's gone blank. McCoy era, I'm sure.
Keith, in that case, Keith yes. McCulloch, anything the McCoy era touches is perfect, except for Delta.
Right. Please don't. I should have bottled. No, I should not have
Fake
committed.
Fan.
I should not have committed. I've got it right. It's fine. He did the thinking.
Oh, you've lucked out there, Mr. Josh.
I have definitely. Yeah, he did pretty much everything from He did Time of the Rani, Paradise Towers, Delta and the Bannermen, Remembrance, Silver Nemesis, Battlefield, Dimensions in Time.
Oh no.
Oh no, sorry.
I mean, to be fair,
and the theme
I don't
tune.
remember if the music was bad. You might get
Yeah.
lucky there.
There's other things to focus on with that. Which I've never seen it. Is that
Have you not?
I have not.
We'll have to do a watch party of
God.
Dimension. To be fair, that's something I've always wanted to try and recreate, just for some reason. I don't know why. Like, obviously not with the actors, just like for a skit. But I think it'd be really funny
What a
skit that
would be.
It's like the comic relief version of Dimensions in Time, which is ironic. The comic relief version of the comic relief.
Yeah, I'd worry that if you tried to do a skit of it, you would accidentally make it really serious because it's already an absolute joke.
That's a very good point.
What if you did a high?
Maybe I should do it like deathly seriously,
like a highbrow art house recreation of Dimensions in Time.
I feel like I'm changing every second, and I'm Tom. That's done. I've got so many ideas now.
Yeah, wonderful. So yeah, Julie Gardner. I mean, like I said, what more is there to say? She played such a massive hand in bringing back this show. I mean,
and also like she had a big hand in the spin-offs too. Like, I mean, I wasn't the big into Torchwood, admittedly. It wasn't really my thing, which in hindsight is excellent. But I mean, the Sarah Jane Adventures is such a big part of my childhood, just as much, if anything, as Doctor Who, because that show was great, and it wouldn't have happened if not for RTD and Julie Gardner, and of course many, many others. But those are the two names that have always stuck with me when it comes to this era. Yeah,
and I love I just love you do get these, and we've got loads in the corridor at the minute, which is great, of these genius women behind the scenes of Doctor Who.
Girl power, man.
Yeah, like all of these legends across the years. There's always even in eras where there probably should have been more women involved in the making of the show.
Yeah,
there's usually
you got to feel bad for some of those companions. Poor Leela.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, Leela.
Yeah, they got shafted, unfortunately.
Did they now?
Oh Lord. But yeah, there's so many fantastic women working in Doctor Who. It's a testament to them that, especially at the moment, I really want to get them on the podcast, but they're all so busy, which is great.
Unfortunately, so.
Yeah. It's a wonderful byproduct of this program, and I love it. But yeah, perfect pick, absolutely great pick.
Thank you.
She's in. We'll put her next to Russell. I just think that feels right. It feels right. They're both in there together.
Yeah.
And they're back. They are going to be doing this forever.
Yes, they're never going to leave.
Yeah, I can't wait for another 15 years when they come back again.
That'd be really odd if just every 15 years he's like, you know what? Let's give it another go. Like, he's 80 at this point. He's like, all right, here's my thing. How about we do the Daleks, but they're actually the Cybermen, and he just dies mid-sentence, just like, no, Russell, we wanted your new idea.
Yes. Now that's a skit. There is a skit there. Make a skit. Yeah, old man Russell. And that very neatly brings us on to, unfortunately, nearly the end of the show. Obviously, it's been ruddy marvelous. I do have one final question.
Do you?
Before we go, yes, I do.
Well, I'll allow it.
You'll allow it. Okay, good.
I will, yeah.
You have no power here.
Oh yeah, this isn't my show. Damn. Usually when I'm on Zoom, it's because of my thing. Damn it.
I had this as well. I've been on a couple of podcasts, and I struggle to let the reins go, man. I'm a control freak.
It's tricky. But when I was asking you about your audio series, I think it was in the break, I couldn't help but keep like pushing you about it. And I was like, yes, tell me more for the content. But then I realized, oh, wait, it's not recording. No.
But yeah, I have one final question for you, which is the question that I ask all of my lovely guests. Yeah. It's always a tough one, but in a sentence, what does Doctor Who mean to you?
Fuck all. Sorry, I can't help it. Right. What does Doctor Who mean to me? That's a very difficult question to sum up in a sentence. I'd say
Don't worry about the sentence if you need longer. You can take as long as you need.
No, I can do it. I don't think I can't rise to this challenge. To me, it's a fun outlet to let out so much creative juices because of how open the show is in concept. Because, you know, anytime, anywhere, that leads to so much that you can do, whether it be the audios or so many different cosplay opportunities or so many fan films and everything a part of that. You know, it can combine anything, any format, and it like YouTube or scripts or TikToks if you're into that, or conventions. Entire conventions can be based around this one kind of obscure from the 60s at a time nerd show. And I think that is what it means to me. It just means it is such an outlet for everything going on in here that can just be farted out onto the internet.
Well, that is so for an answer that contained the word farted. It was so beautiful. It was really, really nice. What a lovely answer. And what a lovely guest. It's been an absolute hoot. I've loved this one.
I can't wait for the 2 views.
Oh, don't be daft.
Look, I know my audience, man. They like the show. Anything outside, they're like, it's all right.
No, they'll like this. They'll like this.
I'm sure they will. The podcast is absolutely
They want to see
incredible.
the man behind the community show.
There's nothing behind. That is as honest as I get.
I've said it once. I'll say it time and time again. You are the single most charismatic man I've ever met, which is so cool.
I'll take it.
You are great. You are.
That'll be on my
grave.
Joy.
And I want to, before we go, I want to give you as long as you want to plug everything and make sure you remind people of the live show as well.
Oh, strap in, everyone. We've got a couple more hours to go then. Okay, so where do I begin? Well, first of all, obviously, the live show. If you want to come and view it, I would very much love and appreciate it a ton. The Friday priority ticket, there should still be in there because Friday is usually a bit of a dead day as it is. So get your Friday priority ticket and see me on the creator stage at 11 o'clock to 11:45, as well as Dominic G. Martin, the Purple Doctor / Who Chaser, Philip Hawkins, terrific reviewer, and Rory, aka Rassalon Productions, who makes the terrific Dark Days audios. As well as that, you can watch the Doctor Who Community Show or Doctor Who Road if you're into that. I'd love that. At my YouTube channel, just Jack Reeves. If that doesn't work, I'm sure there's a lot of people called Jack Reeves. So it's Jack Reeves Doctor Who, usually does the trick. On Twitter, I am at Who Community or at DWG Doctor Who Guy. There's my main and my thing. I thought that was a good idea at the time. I also have a perfect Doctor Who Road Shots Twitter. I don't use that as much now. But other than that, there's where I'm most active. Oh, I suppose Instagram, but I mean, that you'll find that link somewhere else. I'd forget what I'm called on Instagram.
Lovely. Lovely stuff. And to do my usual spiel, you've obviously been listening to Who Knew a Doctor Who podcast. You can listen to this wherever you get your podcasts, and you can watch the video versions on YouTube. So if you've been missing out on mine and Jack's lovely faces, sort it out.
Come on now. I didn't not shave to be on camera.
Yeah, I know. I shaved especially, as you can see.
Clean shaven like a baby.
Here, Yeah. A couple of new things as well. There is now a Who Knew merch store. If you like the logo,
I've been meaning to get one of those T-shirts or at least a jumper because they look awesome. That logo.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Yes.
I might flash some up on screen now. There. I'm going to line them up perfectly with your hands.
Are you now? Oh,
who am I
you want to
kidding?
try this?
Who am I kidding? No, I'm not. But yeah, if you want to buy some Who Knew merch, it really helps the podcast out. And I'm quite proud of the designs. I think they look pretty sick.
Cool.
And I like the logo.
Who designed your logo?
That'll be little old me.
Dude, you smashed it. It looks so good. It's so simple, but it looks good on anything.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. And you heard it there. It looks good on anything, especially a T-shirt, which you can buy from the Who Knew merch store. And if you want a little discount on the Who Knew merch store, one way to get it and another way to support the podcast is our Patreon, which has now started. You can become a patron. There's 3 tiers, £2, £4 and £6 a month. And there's loads of benefits. There's a Discord server. There's exclusive content. There's going to be bloopers, probably from this episode as well. Because we laughed a lot.
If you want to see the moment I accidentally pulled down my trousers, you get to that.
And there's loads of stuff, including discounts for the merch store. So if you want to support the podcast, that's the best way to do it. And I would love you forever. And if you want to follow us, we're on Twitter, whoknewdwpod, and I'm on Twitter at Josh Ryan Carr. And you can follow us on Instagram as well, Who Knew Podcast. And if you want to send us an email or whatever, whoknewdwpod@gmail.com. So thank you once again, Mr. Reeves, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, it's been lovely to come. You're a terrific host. It was a pleasure to hand over the reins there for the podcast and not be a host for a bit. Yeah, great questions all around.
Thank you. Thank you, mate. And good luck with the live show and with everything, because you are smashing it. And I'm loving it so far. And thank you to everyone at home for listening. And I bid you farewell. Goodbye. Big thank you to all of our patrons, and a massive shout out to Alfie Innes. Thanks for listening to Who Knew, a Doctor Who podcast. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts and now on YouTube. Please subscribe and leave us a review wherever you can, as it really helps us out. And a massive thanks to the Sononauts for lending their cover of the Doctor Who theme to be the theme for the podcast.